Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick little video this morning about how to train yourself to recognize opportunity. So I just finished this book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and one of the things that he talked about a little bit in this book was we have this system in our brain called the reticular activating system. So this is actually something that I have studied quite a bit. And the function of this system is basically to take all the stimulus that you receive, so through your eyesight, visual, hearing, touch, smell, all of those, and basically take that massive amount of information, figure out what's actually important, and then send that off to your brain to be processed. So when you think about it, if you actually were to process 100% of the information that you're receiving at any given point in time, you would drive yourself completely crazy. So I'm going to use an example this is probably a commonly used example of your reticular activating system at work, is if you've ever been, let's say you're out to dinner at a loud restaurant and there's a whole bunch of background noise, you're not hearing all the other people's conversations, but all of a sudden you hear your name. So what happened is your reticular activating system was filtering through all that information, and then it heard your name, which is significant to you, and then that brought your attention to it, right? So that is important because what you deem as important is basically your individual beliefs and all the experiences that you've had as an individual up to that point. That is very much affecting what your reticular activating system is deeming as important. So for example, I was previously only a W-2 employee. I didn't know anything about business or investing or anything like that. So I didn't see the opportunities that I now see. So through many years of reading lots of books and educating myself on alternative ways of generating income, I see opportunity absolutely everywhere now that I did not see before. And that's just because I've basically trained myself to see it by educating myself. So one of the biggest things that I've done is that I started reading again on a very consistent basis. So I read at least a book a week. A lot of it I actually listen to on Audible. So while I'm driving, I take that drive time and turn it into education time. And just from absorbing that information, consistently, I basically rewired my brain to see those opportunities that I did not see previously. So this is kind of getting into psychology a little bit. There's one more psychology thing I wanted to talk a little bit, and that is this term called confirmation bias. So if you believe that the world is a hostile place, you will find evidence of that being true. And one of the most damaging things, I guess, for our well-being as humans is actually media. So, if you watch the news, you would be led to believe that 90% of the things happening in the world are negative, and it's not true. And the media is basically preying on our evolutionary biases. So we naturally gravitate towards, we attach more significance to negative things than we do positive. And that's because, we evolved to be that way because, they talk about the cougar in the bushes. So if something rustles in the bushes and, it's nothing, it's just the wind, no big deal. But if something rustles in the bushes and it's a cougar that's there to eat you, then that's a big deal, right? So evolutionarily, we basically evolved to attach more significance to negative stimulus because that's what used to keep us alive. Where now we're basically so overloaded with that information that it's no longer necessary, but we still have that hardwiring. So talking about the negativity. So if you have this mindset of lack and scarcity, you're going to look for confirmation of that being true, and it's going to cause you to miss all the opportunities that are actually out there. If you read books about business and all this positive self-development stuff, you're going to start to rewire that over time, and you're not going to think from this scarcity lack mindset anymore, and all of a sudden you're just going to see opportunity absolutely everywhere. So if you go study the world's most successful people, you're going to find that every single one of them has they've developed these habits over time where they basically train themselves to think that way, and over time it makes a huge difference. And it's not, I talk about wealth a lot because I started this channel to help out with to teach people how to do real estate investing, but it's not just wealth, it's every aspect of your life, your your health, your well-being, your general level of happiness and fulfillment, um, social well-being. All of those things are affected just by the way that you think about things, and you can train yourself to think about things any way you want. So if you want to be that negative person that comes from this lack mindset, you think people are out to get you, the world's a nasty place, you're going to look for confirmation of that. You know what? You're going to find it, because there absolutely are bad things that happen, but I much prefer to be the other way around. So I look for confirmation that the world is a good place to be in, and that there's lots of opportunity. And when you approach life that way, life becomes a lot more enjoyable and a lot more fun. And I really think it's a better way to see things. So that is my message for this morning. Thanks for watching.